YouTube, what up? Welcome back to Channeladriantv, and y'all know me as Adrian. But before I get into the video, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the videos. Also follow me on Rumble where I post. And if you have a great video or great Ask Adrian question, please hit me up on one of my social media platforms. And if it's a great suggestion, a great video, I would definitely do a reaction video to it. Now, before I get started on this video, this is a serious topic, and by any means, I am not making fun of this situation. I am not against trans men. I'm not against transgendered. I'm for equality with anybody. But the thing I don't think trans men understand is how hard the world really is for average everyday men like myself. Because we've always often hear women say it's easier for a man. No, the top 10, 5%, 1% of men, it's easier. But for the everyday average man, it is very tough. So I'm going to play this video of a trans man talking about his life and transitioning and how he's starting to realize how tough it is to be a man. Now, before I play this video, by any means am I making fun of this situation. I think this is a serious topic that all people, if they're going to transition into a man, they need to understand this and learn about this and really make sure they want to transition into a man. So let's play this video and I will give you my thoughts.
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of how open women are than I've had in my 8 years of transitioning. Because women are just so much more vulnerable and deep than men. But to have known, and I think a lot of trans men feel this, is we knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to have people want to hug us. And to have people want to talk to us. And to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. And people are colder. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men. Because this shit is lonely. And I'm an emotionally mature man. I know how to build friendships, and it is still really, really hard. Try to think about how you can, in your small little community where you feel safe, can reach out to the men in your life and just help them feel maybe seen for a moment. Or do little conversations to help their emotional maturity so that they can reach out to people and have deeper guy friendships.
Very serious video, and like I said, I'm not making fun of him at all. It's just something I think a lot of people need to understand. And on my channel I've also talked about the sexual dynamics between men and women, and he covered some things that I think need to be addressed. And it kind of covers what I've been covering in previous videos about how men have to live a different life than a woman. Now, number one, he said it's lonely being a man. He said when he was a woman, it was easier to build friendships, as it's tougher to build friendships with men and even other women. I would say that's true. For a man, like he said, it's lonely. Men, you have to build yourself up. Like I've always said. Now, it doesn't mean men are just ATMs. Let me preface by saying that. But men, we are judged off our utility, and our basic utility is protection and provision, resources. That's what a lot of our utility comes from, our value. And most women are not going to pay you any mind if you don't bring any value, as are most men. But our value of viewing another man is different. I'll give you an example. No man wants to be around weak men, because weak men can bring you down. Now, The fact that he's crying and you could tell he's going through it, I'm not saying he's weak because of that. I'm just saying men understand growing up and learning. You do not want to be around weak men. Weak men make bad decisions, put themselves in stupid situations to where they're going to reach out to you to help them out. And me growing up, I had to learn this. I learned this throughout my whole life that I can have weak, pathetic, soft men around me because it's only going to hinder me and hinder my development. Now, once again, that's not a shot at him because it makes sense because he was a woman his whole entire life. Now he's thrust into being a man and understanding how lonely it is. As a man, it is very lonely, and a lot of those times you're going to be by yourself working and improving yourself. But as a man, we understand that growing up because what did we always said? Women are given their value up front with their looks. Men get their value later because they have to build. They have to get a career. They have to get money. They have to work on their appearance. It's just different. That's just biology. Number two, he said women are more vulnerable and deep. And that's true. But if you remember, I've done videos, and I'll make sure to put all the links in the description about how women feel about men opening up. Now, I know some women, if you're watching this, or men may get triggered saying, "No, you could open up, that's stupid." This is what I mean. If you're going to open up to your girl, that is fine. But the thing is, you do not want to open up too much because it could be a turnoff. And as from the clips I've about to show you, you'll find out why. Let me drop those clips.
And my first relationship, I broke up with him because I literally was just bored.
Yes, that's most women.
Yeah.
They did a study about that. That's most women.
Well, I didn't even have sex with him though. That's the thing.
Got you.
But actually, honestly, the reason I broke up with him is because he cried because I wouldn't fuck him. I was like, dude, come on.
Well, that's an actual multitude of layer thing. First of all, he showed that he was feminine or a bitch by crying. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he showed that he was needy by even crying to begin with. So that was number two.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
so
when I was like, peace out.
Yeah. So it was both of those actually.
Yeah.
See, so being a man, we don't get that luxury to open up and to be vulnerable. Now you can, but the thing is, you are running the risk of turning off that woman because men are supposed to be the rock and the leaders. Women are supposed to be the compassionate and the consoling. So right then and there, that's messing up the dynamics between men and women. If you're always vulnerable and weak, most women are not going to respect you. They're going to think you're soft. And remember, what have I said for man's utility? Protection and provision. Most women will not respect you as far as being the protector if you're always crying and being too vulnerable. Because most women will say, well, I'm always emotional and vulnerable, and so is he. How is he going to protect me? It doesn't make any sense. He also brought up people crossing, well, he talked about how him crossing the street and how other people will either cross the street or ignore him. That's the life of being a man. Most men are invisible to most women. That's just how it is. And growing up as a man, unless you're, you do sports in middle school, high school, college, you do get some type of attention. But like I said, men have to work on themselves. Women get their value up front with their looks. Now when I say that, that doesn't mean women are just beauty objects, but let's just call a spade a spade. Men look at women for beauty. Women mostly look at men for resources and protection and provision. That's what biology and the dynamics between men and women have always been. It's never going to change. And then he talked about the S rate in men. And when I say the S word, I'm going to put the word up because I can't say it because YouTube will flag it. But yeah, that is why the rate in men is higher than women. It's a cold, hard world for men, especially the everyday average man. That's why I have always preached on this channel. Men, you have to work hard every single day. And you can't take no days off because if you do and you fall off, and I actually have a clip of a woman actually saying this, the guy fell off to where she left him. So as a man, you can't rest. You have to keep improving and progressing, because once again, I've always said, men, your utility is your protection and provision. Somewhere down the line, men got confused by that. I don't know why. For whatever reason, men don't understand that. And yeah, and my shout out to that person, because the fact that they put this video out there, it kind of shows you the proof. Because remember, she was a man and she talked about how easier it was to build relationships and all like that. Yeah, because you're a woman, your value is handed up front to you. As a man, no one does not know you. You need to build up your value and your utility to get respect from men and women. So it's not only women, because like I said in my first point, most men do not want to be around other weak men. And ladies, let me give you a tip. If your guy friend or your boyfriend or husband hangs around weak men, you might want to get a better man, because that's not a good look. Because I don't know any man that I would consider a masculine man that wants to hang around weak men. I know I don't. But I appreciate this video of this trans man actually telling the truth about how hard it is for regular, everyday men. Y'all tell me what you think about this, and I just want to make sure that y'all understand I am not making fun of trans, LGBTQ, but I am glad about social media, because as I always said, a lot of things that I knew people were going through or people didn't understand, people see it now because they're recording it. How I said the sexual dynamics are changing between men and women. The utility for men and the utility for women are different. The life for women and the life for men are different. And because of social media, instead of just hearing these talks behind closed doors, everyone is actually able to see this information. Y'all let me know what you think about it. I'll see you in the next video.